Jeff Bezos, billionaire Jeff Bezos, is about to get married to journalist and pilot Lauren Sanchez, but that's going to be stopped if the Italians have anything to say about it.
Yes, Jeff Bezos' 3-day extravagant wedding bash in Venice is planned for next week. And now activists have mobilized to do anything they can to inconvenience or possibly prevent it from happening altogether. They've had to have the mayor talk about it and issue an apology to Jeff Bezos for all of this trouble he's being caused. But they're planning to essentially take over all public transport that day, make it impossible for the celebrity guests to make it to the event. It's, again, 3 days long. No straight man wants to have a 3-day long wedding. Just throwing that out there.
Look, so you're right, but it's still not as bad as a woman celebrating her birthday month. And even worse is a man celebrating his birthday month.
I mean, at least other people get to enjoy themselves if it's not your birthday month.
This wedding is the symbol of the exploitation of the city by outsiders, says a 33-year-old Venetian activist affiliated with the quote-unquote no space for Bezos protesters.
It's a little play on the Blue Origin business that he runs. But they're claiming that Venice is becoming a playground for the rich to the detriment of its inhabitants. So you have a tourist economy and you're mad that you have a tourist economy.
Yeah.
He's not the only one. There are plenty of middle-class people who are also tourists in Venice, but they don't have protests
That's what these Europoors don't realize is that their cities are backdrops for our Instagram photos.
Yeah.
They just don't understand. They can't get that through their heads. I'm like, no, we go back home, we do work, and we prop up your economies. In exchange, we get to come there, and we get to, ride on the gondola.
So they can sit around and smoke cigarettes all day.
Oh, yeah. So I read this CNN article that makes protesting in Italy sound positively dainty.
What do they do?
So...
I mean, they have some banners here. Do you have the pictures?
Yeah, well, I have the picture here of the banner. No space for Bezos. They said that the drawing is like particularly phallic, but pretty much all space shuttles are pretty phallic.
That's unavoidable.
So it says... I love this. It says, after struggling at first to hang a massive no space for Bezos banner, complete with a drawing of an inarguably phallic Blue Origin rocket at the center, a handful of speakers roused the crowd of around 300 Venetians, many of whom were sipping spritzes in takeaway tumblers and smoking hand-rolled cigarettes.
This is the most unemployed activity I've ever heard.
Like, say what you want about the awful American activists, but at least they get in front of gas-guzzling moving cars and let them push them backwards.
Like American activists, they really go all in.
I used to think that I hated all activists equally, but now I'm not sure.
Well, then in France, they just take their tops off.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's like, it's like if you want to go protest somewhere, you should probably go do it in France. It says... though the details of the wedding are highly guarded, beyond the rumored $10 million budget, several venues, including the I'm not even going to read the island names because I can't read the island names. They're impossible for me to pronounce. It says they basically talk about, like you said, they want to prevent them from moving from location to location. They're going to block the canals.
They're threatening to block access to canals as well as the city's narrow streets to prevent the roughly 200 guests invited from reaching various party venues, including Katy Perry, the Kardashians, Ava Longoria, Oprah Winfrey, and Gayle King, a couple of whom were on the Blue Origin Girl Boss space launch.
The organizer told the crowd to raucous applause, "We will block the canals, line the streets with our bodies, block the canals with inflatables, dinghies, and boats."
So this isn't even about the fact that Jeff Bezos is like an evil billionaire. It's just that he's a tourist. That's the problem?
No, I think it's that he's an evil billionaire.
I don't see any rhetoric about billionaires exploiting workers or anything like that.
They just can't protest right.
They're just mad at tourists.
Yeah.
They're mad at Americans.
Another speaker urged those gathered to make sure the wedding would be remembered for their opposition, not Sanchez's reported 27 outfit changes.
That's insane.
See, this is why, I'm pro Bezos because. You have these people like Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, and they're these billionaires. They're kind of moving mysterious. You don't really know what they're up to. And then look to people like Jeff Bezos to actually show you how a billionaire should act. You take over a small town. Maybe you destabilize the economy.
I'm unapologetically pro Bezos because he is like how I feel they hate David Zaslav at Warner Brothers. Anybody who can make people that mad, I can appreciate. Plus, he's like 5'7", which is he is the physical manifestation of little guy syndrome.
Yeah,
where he's like I'm short. I feel incompetent, so he's a billionaire.
So this is
literally going through a
midlife
crisis.
You think Jeff Bezos is the most relatable billionaire?
Yes. I think no, I didn't call him relatable. I said that I get a kick out of him. I don't care if anybody's relatable. Like being relatable. That's what people say about Elon Musk, that he's relatable because he plays video games and posts memes.
The point is billionaires shouldn't be relatable.
They shouldn't be.
I don't want them to act like they're relatable. I want them to be launching rockets. I want them to spend $10 million on a wedding. The worst is when they do the whole routine like, hey, I have morals and ethics. I'm like, dude, I know what you're doing behind the scenes, right? You're trying to enslave me, da-da-da-da-da. I respect this. I respect the billionaire that gets up there, is like, I'm rich, there's nothing you can do about it, I'm going to take over your town. And you're just like, well, at least you're honest.
You know who I don't have respect for is the mayor, who's like, I hope they don't ruin it. I'm like, you're the mayor. Can't you
do something?
Can't you do something
he
about
said,
this?
We'll have to apologize to Jeff Bezos. I'm ashamed of those who behave like this. I hope that Bezos comes anyway. Noting that not all Venetians think like these protesters.
Like all the business owners who will make a ton of money off all of the people being in town for the wedding.
Well, I am honestly surprised that it's such a budget wedding. $10 million
Yeah,
for Bezos is like nothing.
Cheapskate.
And 200 people, that is way smaller than I thought.
Well, I mean, what's her name took half, so maybe.
Yeah.
Remember that like insanely extravagant wedding in India?
That
all of those celebrities went to last year. I think that was last year. I don't even remember who that was. That threw that one.
But Justin Bieber.
Bezos was there though.
And Justin Bieber sang and was paid like $10 million to perform like 2 songs.
That's what you want. You want Gayle King there knocking back cannolis. You don't want them to be. This
person goes on. Let's make sure that Venice is not remembered as a postcard venue where Bezos had his wedding, but as the city that did not bend to oligarchs. So it is about him being rich.
Okay.
I didn't believe for a minute this was about tourists. I believe that right now that there's a lot of have-nots that desperately despise the haves when they should despise their government far more. We can't miss a chance to disrupt a $10 million wedding. $5 million wedding? Go ahead.
Right.
10 million. They also mentioned in like the other article that George Clooney got married there 10 years ago without a hitch, and that's because 10 years ago there wasn't the Marxist disdain for people that have made money.
Well, it might be a bad omen for Bezos' marriage though, because everyone says George Clooney is on a leash with Amal, his wife.
Maybe that's what Bezos wants.
Have we even heard Bezos' wife like talk ever?
I have. Yeah,
really?
She's a very public figure. She
won an Emmy.
The talk of the town with the Blue Origin.
Every time I see a video, it's just him and his wife and then a former professional athlete. That's how it is every single time.
We have a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. I find it entertaining that the same week there's a kerfuffle over the Bezos wedding that Amazon announces that in the next 5 years, 10% of their white-collar workforce will be replaced by AI.
But don't you appreciate the honesty of a billionaire?
I do. I mean, one day I'm going to be replaced by AI in this job, and I'll be like, fair play.
Yeah, I'd be like, wow, I got outclassed. Okay.
So this is something that you're in the middle of, wedding planning, right? Yes. I'm stuck on the cost being $10 million. I feel like that's, if you did the math like proportionately to his net worth, he's spending less on his wedding than most people, most middle class people spend. I think the median cost of a wedding in America is something like $20,000 to $30,000.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeesh.
Yeah, it's expensive.
People are spending more of their personal net worth on middle class weddings than Jeff Bezos is on this extravaganza.
I mean, that's 3 days of what I'm sure will be like he never works. Like, I don't ever picture, like, I've never seen Jeff Bezos at an office. He's always like, he's always looking like Pitbull.
Yeah.
Looking like white Pitbull.
Does he get any work done?
Like he does his work. I'm sure he does his work from his phone. Like, probably not even his. He probably dictates it to like a servant.
It's another great thing is I don't want them to pretend like they're doing work. Look, I know you're rich. I know you're.
Well, no, the thing is, the work to them is about their business relationships and who they know and what they can get people to agree to. It doesn't require them to be at an office to do it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't want you to pretend to be like normal people.
Right.
Like, I don't want you to fake it.
It's like when they asked Rick Rubin like what he does, and he's like, I trust my taste so much that I'm able to pick the perfect art. And I'm like, thank you. See, someone that just is honest
but the
instead
thing
of
is,
pretending they do work.
Like if they ask Jeff Bezos like what his job is, the actual answer will be so boring because it'll be him being like, I had to call up this buddy who like I did a business deal with 10 years ago to try and set up another business deal, and then we had to negotiate contracts. So it's just we sent this to a lawyer. They sent this to a lawyer. He sent it back to me. I sent back to my lawyers. That's not very interesting. So they always have to wax poetic about
Isn't that
like I have to just look inside myself and trust that this is the bill. Like that's not an answer,
but
it's the answer that people want.
It's so refreshing because like we were discussing Bill Ackman pre-show. No idea what that guy does. It says hedge fund manager. So like if you ask him what his day-to-day business is, he's like, yeah, I was bulldozing a Native American reservation, lit a few teepees on fire, and then I like, killed a few dogs. And it's like that's his daily routine. Where Jeff Bezos is like, yeah, I fired an email off and like fired someone. And it's like that's I like that. I like billionaires that just leave it all on the table.
See, my idea is like if it was a 4-day wedding, the stock would drop at Amazon. So yeah, like they had to cap it at 3.
And everyone's also like complaining where they're like, "Oh, it's 3 days." I'm like, in Venice, yeah, that sounds sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you eat spaghetti all day.
I'll give Jeff Bezos credit. He is heterosexual. Say what you will about Bezos, but he is straight, and you can tell.
He's going through a legitimate like midlife crisis. He broke up with his normal-looking wife, and he's marrying a sex doll. Like he's going through this weird type of American billionaire trajectory of that many rich people I'm sure go through.
He's living his male power.
He'll probably
fantasy.
Never be truly happy. But he's got enough shiny objects in front of him to keep him busy until he dies.
Yeah.
Well, this brings us to another billionaire wedding controversy around Alex Soros and Huma Abedin, who just got married over the past weekend. And some people are saying he is in a lavender marriage. Do
you want to explain what that means?
Lavender marriages are for gay men and straight women who don't care about, marrying for love. They're going to marry for convenience and friendship. Well, and Alex Soros allegedly is the gay man in question with Huma Abedin. This tweet says, Alex Soros, 39, and Huma Abedin, age 48, kiss after getting married in the Hamptons. Billionaire straight men do not usually get married to 48-year-old women with kids from a previous marriage. Anthony Weiner, in Huma Abedin's case. Gay or not gay? Do we think Alex Soros is gay?
I mean, that was what I read, but
I don't think he's gay.
Does he need to be like?
I think he could be just openly gay and no one would care.
This is just a return to tradition. This is what people used to do. They used to marry like a consort that was like 20 years older to like United Kingdom. But that's kind of what's happening. Uniting the DNC with the Soros. Like this is a beautiful thing.
Right,
that was what I said to you. I said like her connections in politics mean more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people were shocked though that a billionaire would marry a woman who is lower SMV.
That's because he can have her sign a fantastic prenuptial agreement and cheat on her anytime he wants while getting the business contract.
I know, everyone's got to drop the act.
Because he's probably a bad person.
Yeah, can we all drop the act? They're both cheating, like probably as soon as they got out of the wedding. Like, drop the act. like
marriage,
these aren't normal
marriage
people.
For show. I just saw that meme again the other day. It's the picture of, or it's the video of Sabrina Carpenter drinking out of the flask. It says Bill Clinton went home to this every night and still cheated.
Sickening.
But like, Soros, Huma, they stomp on the glass bottle and they get out of there and they're heading straight to the island. That's what's going on, and that's love. That's in the billionaire world. That's love, and it's kind of a beautiful thing when you really think about it.
I do believe that Bezos is in love with Lauren Sanchez. From those text messages that got leaked, when he said, "What did he say? I love you, alive girl." That was real emotion.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's super weird, but he really felt that.
When I see him on a yacht with Alex Rodriguez, I think, I'm going to make it, right? It's like relatable. You're like, okay, maybe I have a chance.
One day. Well, you see those videos. No. Like, the thing is, like, you see the videos of him when he was, like, 20, and he's, like, wearing the sweater vest.
Yeah.
And, like it was pure spite that brought him to where he is now.
And that's how every successful person, and if you're out there, if you want to be successful, the way, and I'm just saying this is what I see in successful people, is let the spite fester. Yeah. You need to be angry at the world. You need to have a chip on your shoulder. You need to be fueled by hatred. That's the ultimate way to succeed.
I don't have enough spite to be successful. I don't.
I do.
Okay.
Have you been to Walgreens? That'll fire you up. That'll make you want to take over Venice.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.